Today, I am in Lesvos, a remarkable island in the northeastern Aegean where the spirit of Greek hospitality is both literal and metaphoric. Some of Greece's most delectable foods can be found on Lesvos, an island where every dish is a reminder of its unique, rich, and often tumultuous history. We'll follow local fishermen bringing in the island's renowned sardines. And we'll meet a fisherman who was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
This is the house where my dad was born.
Wow. I'll experience the island through the eyes of a good friend whose ancestral roots are here. Cook up a couple of Lesvos' renowned eggplant dishes.
This is heaven for me. I love eggplant.
Make a delectable octopus and olive stew. And bake up some of those famed sardines, spritzed with Lesvos' national drink, ouzo.
What happens when history, hospitality, and incredible ingredients come together in the kitchen? Join me on my Greek table as I explore the rich textures of this fascinating island, Lesvos. I was born in New York and visited Greece when I was 12. I fell in love with the place and my husband. I moved to Athens 25 years ago to cook and write about Greece's healthy foods and natural beauty. I'm Diane Kochilas. Yassas.
Lesvos, the third largest island in Greece. As little as 3.5 miles separate it from the coast of Asia Minor, present-day Turkey. The philosopher Aristotle was so moved by the island's fertile land and teeming coves and bays that he wrote one of the world's earliest masterpieces of natural history here, inspiring Darwin and Lord Byron thousands of years later. After the final throes of the Ottoman Empire in 1922, thousands of Greek refugees flooded and settled in Lesvos from across the water in Turkey, revitalizing the island's culture, cuisine, and economy. Little could they have guessed that almost 100 years later, they'd relive the turmoil, this time acting as humanitarians and helping to rescue the wave of refugees from the war-torn Middle East, who were washing up on their shores by the thousands every day. Indeed, no visit to Lesvos, whether intended or fortuitous, has ever been without a dose of heartfelt hospitality and something deeper, which touches the very soul of what it means to be Greek. A sense of honor that we call philotimo, a generosity of spirit that these islanders have held fast throughout their long history. The national drink of Greece, ouzo, also calls Lesvos home. Found on almost every table, ouzo is the drink of hospitality and an extension of the spirit of the people of Lesvos. I'm in the village of Molivos, meeting up with my friend Nico. He has such a special bond with this place that he opened a restaurant in New York called Molivos.
So I started coming here when I was around 10 years old. And this is exactly where I hung out and made all my local friends.
I started coming to Greece when I was 12.
Well, see? And I would spend the whole summers here. When all the other kids were going to summer camp, Molivos was my summer camp.
Yeah, I know that feeling totally.
And I would kick and scream and not want to go back home. Right there is the old olive oil refinery. Okay. I remember my dad telling me on their way to school, they had fresh bread with them, and the workers would allow them to go in and take the bread and dip it as the olive oil is being pressed. So I would love hearing those stories.
This whole area, these people were originally from, like your family was originally from Asia Minor.
Everyone, the whole village is basically from Asia
so
Minor.
So in its own way, a refugee story.
Exactly.
The end of World War I brought turmoil to the region. After the partition of the Ottoman Empire, the Greek army, with the blessing of the British, invaded Asia Minor to liberate the 4 million Greeks who had been living there for 3 millennia. As a result, 2 million Greeks were killed and 2 million fled. Many of the Greek refugees found their way to Lesvos and the welcoming arms of the people here. Nick's grandmother was one of those refugees.
Γεια σας, τι κάνετε?
Nick and I have stumbled upon a real treat, The local women have gathered to make drahana in the traditional way of the island.
What's special about drahana, it's first of all, it's made from sheep's milk. They form them, they dry them, and then they will have this throughout the year for thickening soups, to become part of a stuffing and vegetables.
It's sour. It's got a very cheese-like flavor.
Exactly.
This is what they call kurkuti. It's very finely cracked wheat. And they also combine that with whole wheat flour and a little semolina flour.
After these little cups are formed, they are set in the sun to dry. Once they are dried, the women bake them on clay tiles over embers.
This was the meze for wine. And you'd actually take these, the baked ones, dip it in the wine and eat it as a meze.
Nick and I are heading back to his home, where his cousin and some friends are preparing some wonderful eggplant fritters. A little bit of grated onion is added to a mixture of cooked eggplant and mashed potato, along with some eggs and herbs. All of this is mixed together and formed into small patties.
Eggplant is a really important raw ingredient on Lesvos. Eggplant stuffed with octopus, that sounds amazing. Moussakas. Stuffed eggplant, imam. Just in a couple of minutes here, making these eggplant keftedes, Ralu and Melpo and Vasiliki recounted at least 20 local recipes just made with eggplant. So it's a really important vegetable in the island's cooking.
After the patties are formed, Nick's cousin Maria dredges them in a little flour and fries them up in some oil.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Εμείς ευχαριστούμε.
Και εμείς και θα θέλαμε να...
What a lovely day, and what a great moment to again be together like this.
There's one word that sums up the whole experience in Lesvos. It's a word that sums up Greece, but I think in Lesvos it has a special meaning, which is the Greek word philotimo.
Ναι.
And that's a really hard word. There's no translation of that word in English.
Ακριβώς.
A good friend of mine said, oh, that's a mensch, when I explained what it is. But it's much deeper than that. It's really about having this sense of duty toward your fellow human being, right? And
Love, friendship, and giving.
love, friendship, giving, and honor. Ησυχία.
Yama, may we be together again next year.
Και του χρόνου.
Το χρόνο.
I'm making a luscious stuffed eggplant dish inspired by my trip to the island of Lesvos. I'm just gonna let my onions cook in olive oil until they're soft, but still a little al dente. I'm gonna just chop up some garlic, just a rough chop. And add my tomatoes, they're coarsely chopped. And this is the basis for my eggplant stuffing. Eggplant is a vegetable that Greeks have embraced for decades. Most of the eggplant dishes here actually arrived with the Greeks who lived in Turkey. This dish is called papoutsakia. That means little shoes. What I want to do is just score my eggplant. You don't want to cut all the way through the skin. That's very important. I like to cut around the edge because it helps the pulp come out all the more easily. I'm just gonna get a little olive oil on my pan, olive oil on my eggplant, and I'm gonna put these under the broiler for about 10 minutes. Eggplant is one of those vegetables that absorbs a lot of olive oil. Tomato filling is done. I'm just gonna pull my eggplants from the oven. That pulp is beautiful. Time to add those great fresh herbs. You could put anything you like in here. Fresh oregano, basil. And I'm also gonna add a touch of salt, a little bit of pepper, a couple of different Greek cheeses. I have kefalograviera here. That is a mild, semi-hard sheep's milk cheese and a little bit of feta. I'm gonna save the rest for the top. The cheeses will add a nice richness to this dish. I just want to get my pulp out of here now. I'm doing this a little carefully because the eggplant is still a bit hot. This is going to go right back in beautiful mounds. And you want to try to fit these in as snugly as you can. And this delicious filling is going right back into the eggplant where most of it came from. You want to be generous and mound it so that it's really substantial. I'm just going to pop these into the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes or so. Top it with a little grated cheese. Leave it in there for a couple more minutes and pull it out and enjoy. This is inspired from the wonderful food of the island of Lesvos. It smells awesome. Tastes awesome too. It's no wonder why we say there are 1,000 ways to cook an eggplant. This is wonderful. It's filled with all these great garden flavors. Those cheeses give it that great creaminess, but it's really the eggplant that makes this dish so fleshy, so substantial. It almost feels like I'm eating a piece of meat. It's that filling, it's that hearty. This is an agorgitiko from the Peloponnesos region, from Nemea. I can't imagine my Greek recipe repertoire without this dish to share with you.
Lesvos is Greece's third largest island and considered by many to be home of some of the country's best fish. Fishing has a long tradition in Greece, and sardines have been a staple of Greek cuisine since ancient times. The Bay of Kaloni is where the prized Papalina sardine resides. The bay's warm waters are teeming with phytoplankton, the sardine's main source of food. Bright lights fixed to a rowboat draw the sardines into the fishermen's nets. Sold fresh every morning, many times right from the dock, sardines are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, potassium, calcium, and scores of other vitamins and minerals. All the remaining fish are sold to the local canneries. A popular meze on Lesvos is sardeles pastes. Stratis Valiamos, a chef and fisherman, is going to show me how it's made. He starts by making a bed of coarse sea salt. Taking a couple of handfuls at a time, he lays the sardines on top of the salt and then sprinkles on more salt. Mixing the salt and sardines in the pan like this ensures that the whole fish is coated. The salted fish are left to cure in the refrigerator for 24 hours. Taking off the skin is the next step. With the tines of a fork, he rakes the skin from the flesh of the fish. He removes the fins, the head, and the guts. The cleaned sardines are then rinsed under water to remove any excess salt. They are placed in a tray and covered with fresh olive oil. Stratis is one of many local heroes on Lesvos. His efforts to save thousands of refugees as they washed up on the shores of his village earned him a nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize. 2 grandmothers from the village were nominated with him.
Όταν ήρθα εδώ τώρα και καταρχάς είδα την απόσταση που είναι...
Πολύ κοντά. Έβγαινες έξω με τη βάρκα και έβρεσκες μπροστά σου 30 βάρκες μαζί. Περνούσαμε ανάμεσα στις βάρκες για να πάμε εκεί που θέλουμε να ψαρέψουμε. Και τότε που έβγαινε ο κόσμος, η ροή, η ζωή εδώ δεν άλλαξε, δεν μας άλλαξε Εδώ δούλευα στο μαγαζί, εγώ είχαμε κόσμο γεμάτα τραπέζια και όταν υπήρχε πρόβλημα έξω, οι ίδιοι εδώ που δούλευα, λέγανε στρατή φύγει να βοηθεί. Ζήσαμε και άσχημα πράγματα, αλλά το καλό ήταν ότι όταν έσωσες κόσμο και τον έφερνες εδώ, σαν αγκαλιάζε, από το πουθενά. Βγαίναμε εδώ, καθόμασταν για ούζο. Θυμάμαι μια ιστορία, είχα βρει μια βάρκα και γύρω στα 60 άτομα μέσα, γεμάτι νερό.
Ναι.
Και όταν πήγα κοντά, όλοι πετάγαν τα μωρά, για να σώσουν τα μωρά, τα πετάγανε στις βάρκες, δικιά μου μέσα. Τα πετάγανε.
Wow.
Μόνο μωρά. Χωρίς να ξέρω ότι αν γυρίσω, οι γονείς θα ζουν.
Αυτό που έγινε με το βραβείο Νόμπελ,
Νομίζω ότι σε οποιονδήποτε να τύχαινε, το ίδιο θα έκανε.
η Λέσβος για μένα είναι ένα νησί που πραγματικά συνδέεται με την έννοια αυτό του φιλότιμου. Όλο αυτό το πράγμα είναι το υλικό κομμάτι του φιλότιμου, δηλαδή ότι προσφέρεις και τυχαίνει να είναι και πάρα πολύ νόστιμα.
Νομίζω ότι εδώ ζούμε πραγματικά. Κάθε λεπτό που περνά το καταλαβαίνουμε. Στην υγεία μας.
One of the quintessential flavors of Greece is lemon, but also ouzo. That's what I'm cooking with today in this really nice sardine dish. Just adding a little bit of ouzo, which I will whisk up with some mustard and Greek olive oil. This beautiful sauce is going to go over a tray full of sardines. A little bit of salt, a little pepper. Sauce is ready. Sardines are one of the most popular fish in Greece. They're also really tasty. They're filled with those great omega fatty acids, and they're really easy to cook. I like to layer my sardines kind of head to tail. I'm just sliding slices of tomato, lemon, and onion in here in alternating pieces. And in Greece, there's actually a saying that you eat with your eyes first. So make the food look attractive. Doesn't take much. This is a great mezze for ouzo, but it's also a main course, which is how I actually eat it at home. Doesn't that look beautiful? I'm gonna get my dressing. I really just wanna moisten my fish. I want it to be dry at the end, but still tender. I'm gonna add capers and a little bit of oregano. This is good to go. I'm gonna bake it at 350 for about 20 minutes. Pretend I'm on Lesvos, sitting by the sea, enjoying a Greek summer day. This is what health and hospitality look like. A wonderful plate of nicely baked sardines, a little bit of tomato, lemon, capers, and ouzo. Just gonna serve some up, all these gorgeous colors. This is totally what Greece is all about. Beautiful food, simply prepared, meant to be shared, the people you love. And if you have the drink of hospitality to go with it, all the better, a little ouzo. It really looks like it just jumped out of the sea and onto my plate. This is so filled with the sea. There's wonderful sardines that have that richness, and the onions are really crisp. The capers are that finishing touch. Really refined but rustic at the same time. Aegean to your health and to relaxing dinners with the people you love. Octopus stewed with olives, one of my favorite dishes. I'm gonna start by browning these stewing onions, which I'm gonna caramelize separately over low heat. The base for my octopus is olive oil, fennel, and onion. Fennel. Gonna soften those up. I'm ready to clean my octopus, which basically means getting the hood off and squeezing out the beak. You want to just cut it off right below the eyes. And the beak is this cartilage-like entity right there. Sometimes it pops right out, and sometimes you need to do it with a small paring knife. You just get rid of that. I like to cut my octopus into 8 pieces right along the lines of the tentacles. All right, this is ready to go into the pot with a little bit of garlic. Okay. This will morph into something entirely different in just a few minutes. The color will change entirely. I like to cook my octopus without any liquid whatsoever in the pot. It will do what the Greeks say, exude its own sea. And that's exactly what's gonna happen in here. My onions are almost there. See that beautiful color? It's gonna look very pretty in the pot. Just a touch of salt, a touch of pepper. You never salt an octopus though, because it exudes all that beautiful seawater, and that's innately salty. I'm gonna add my tomatoes. The onions and tomatoes are something that I like to incorporate about 10 minutes before I take the octopus off the heat. That is what we mean when we say the octopus exudes the sea. You see all that incredible liquid? Look at that. I'm gonna add some of my favorite spices and herbs, star anise and bay leaf. A little tomato paste, which will help thicken the sauce. A little bit of honey. A touch of balsamic vinegar, just for that underlying acidity. And a little bit of wine. I think you get the idea that there's a lot of complexity going on in this relatively simple dish. Really beautiful layers of flavor. Octopus is so meaty, it can stand up to all of that. That's the beauty of this wonderful sea creature. I'm just gonna let this simmer. You really have to judge it by the texture of the octopus. You want it to be firm, but tender, and not at all stringy. And every octopus is a little different. And look at this beauty here. I'm emptying my onions and tomatoes in here. A handful of Kalamata olives, and last but not least, some fresh parsley. This is absolutely ready, and I'm gonna serve some up. Beautiful. I'm gonna add just a handful of all these accompaniments. To me, this is the artistry of a home cook. Maybe bragging a little bit, but it looks really good. This is so multifaceted. It's so complex. I'm just getting an explosion of flavors and layers. This might be a local dish from the island of Lesvos, but it has universal appeal. What does one drink with an octopus dish that tastes almost like meat? For me, that wine is the Xinomavro from northern Greece. Aegean. Enjoy the local flavors of my Greek table on your Greek table. Γεια μας. Και ευχαριστούμε για